Welcome to Bullion Bulletin once again. Mr. Matthew Keane, Managing Director, Responsible Gold is with me. He is an industry veteran. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to Bullion Bulletin. You have been into industry for a long time.
Very long time. 1982 I started in the business.
Yes. So my first question regarding your current project that you have written an article for my magazine. I am very grateful to you that you have written that it is possible to integrate technology into the entire supply chain using the current technology. So my two questions are here. Number one, how can it be done? And second thing is, can we integrate artisanal gold, which is normally it is into informal sector. So how we can legitimize that gold and how we can bring in into the blockchain system in the distributed ledger or whatever way you want technology works.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, yes, it can be done, and we already have a blockchain that is up and running, that is taking gold from mine site. So as soon as gold comes out of the ground in a first smelt into a doré bar, we're tracking that gold all the way through the logistics company, through to the refinery. The refinery is then able to, under supervision, batch refine and put kilobars together that have the full provenance all the way back to the mine. So this is happening already. That said, we're working to establish the product, establish the technology. We're working with companies that we know are already operating at a very high level. So they're already adhering to World Gold Council conflict-free standards. The refiners are working they're accredited by the LBMA. So we've really tackled the very top end of the market, if you like. So the answer to your first question is yes, that already works, and we know that's achievable. The second question about bringing that down to artisanal miners, and the smaller miners, the mines that don't necessarily have the resources that a Newmont might have, for example. That's the challenge, and that's the ultimate goal. I mean, we have great aspirations to bring this technology to Latin America, to Africa, and really to the emerging market economies where not only do we need to get their gold into the system at a good price point, but we also need to put our supply chain technology integrate that into some of these smaller countries, because ultimately these are the best practices that industries in established mining communities are following, and if we can do anything to raise the bar, raise the level of best practices, then that's good for the market and good for us. How long it takes us to get to the artisanal miners, there are a whole lot of additional challenges we face there, but this is brand new technology. We're bringing it one step at a time, and we're very happy with the way we've managed to integrate into the top tier of the market. But we know we've got work to do.
So I have another doubt in my mind. So when suppose I brought some gold from mine and I converted into doré, and it is integrated into my system. Mm-hmm. Now it got refined, then distributed in a bullion 995 or 999 form. So after that, when it is entering to the next level where this gold bar is converted into jewelry, so what is maybe the challenge because what is the guarantee for example, countries like India, what is the guarantee that jewelry is manufactured from that particular gold bar? So how we can address the challenge, and it is...
Well, okay, so you've highlighted, the more downstream we go, the more work needs to be done, the more challenging it is. But so as it stands at the moment, and we can only do so much with this. As it stands at the moment, we are able to provide wholesale jewelers, wholesale distributors with gold that has provenance. once that gold leaves our ecosystem, then we can't really continue to try and track that. But we've had a lot of approaches from countries. We are talking with tax departments of countries, who want to, from a VAT perspective, they want to be able to bring the jewelry industry onto onto a supply chain system.
They can track properly.
Yeah. So the applications are immense. Blockchain is so powerful.
Right.
From our perspective, we're a small company, we're a startup. There's only so much we can tackle on day one. But my feeling is, first challenge, get industry adoption for the system, and then the applications and what can be built from that is very broad and it's very exciting. Well, but I think there's probably the very downstream part, the distribution, the scrap business, the recycled business, that's got a lot of challenges, and the technology is there. The technology is supported by all of the industry players, and it's up to other partners to come in and say, all right, well, you've built the foundations.
Right.
They need to build the applications on top of that.
Right.
And everything can be connected back to, all the way back to the mine site.
Right.
But once it goes out, gets worked, and comes back into the system again, that's for someone else to develop.
Obviously, because there needs involvement from this respective government and the total bureaucratic system and the market players. So it's you are right, it's a kind of a collaborative effort to bring this into the system, right?
Yep.
So what I understood after the discussion, that as you are mapping, you are actually recording the movement of gold from mine to wholesale. Mm-hmm. So for a banker or for a bullion bank or a central bank, they deal only with the large kilowatts. So your technology, that record you are producing, so it will be very helpful for them to buy gold without any doubt. So they do not need any kind of additional due diligence certification from any authority.
Yeah.
Maybe the future.
Well, there are two things that if you're buying gold that's gone through our processes, you're getting the provenance to whether that's a single mine, whether that's a little less pure, let's say. You're still getting the provenance. And the second thing that you're getting, and blockchain can help you with, is the chain of custody. So who has owned that gold? Who has passed on? Who has held that gold at various points? So I think one of the other big benefits of this sort of technology is there can only be one owner at any one time. If we think about some of the problems we've had in the industry, with double pledging of assets, for example, that's something that can't happen with this technology.
That is a very good point.
So hopefully that will help for the wholesale trades. If I was a lender, for example, and I wanted to lend you money against your gold stock, you were going to pledge that to me while you worked on it, let's say, then I'd be much happier as a lender if I was part of this ecosystem, because I can tell that the gold that you say you've got and you can pledge to me is clearly owned by you.
And before I buy gold, I know exactly that gold I am buying, it is not a pledged gold, it is in the stock and I can get the delivery, there is no counterparty issue.
Exactly. So, the technology solves a lot of issues which have been problematic for the industry in the past. So very exciting times ahead.
And it's really very exciting to know about this system is in place or it is developing. And my last question, how we enjoyed the conference?
I've really enjoyed the conference, actually.
Yeah.
Yes. I think well, I'm a big fan of Albert Cheng, and we all are. He's the only worry is he's getting old. He might retire at some point, but no, he puts on a good conference. He's got such good connections. He's brought in people from all around the region and all around the world. And I hope this is a regular standing event in the calendar.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for
Thank you
talking
very
to
much.
Bullion Bulletin.